want everyone to have a safe year, a great winter, a great summer, and to tune in to my man here on Fox 2.
And I'll tell you what, how about a championship for you, too?
In the championship, there you go.
Okay, all right, now we're cool. Now we're straight.
I'm naked right now.
Yeah, get out of here. Watch the hair, will you, Grant, next time? Thank you, buddy. Grant Hill with his New Year's wish for all you folks at home following another Pistons victory at home. Isn't it weird how we've gotten used to the Pistons winning again? Doug Collins has done a magnificent job in less than 2 years, and the Pistons only seem to be getting better. 1996 ended with a win over Orlando, and 97 began with a W over a terrible Boston Celtics team. In those throwback Fort Wayne uniforms, Joe D, the obvious over-the-hoop pass to Don Reed, a little boom time for Reed. Pistons led in quality minutes from that new daddy, Terry Mills. And T. Mills, Skyler is one cute little girl. Lisa had her at the Palace on Thursday. She's beautiful. Pistons beat the Celtics, and that set up the game with Toronto. Lindsey Hunter splits the defense, lays it in, and even though the Raptors were hurting, Collins saw his team register the second biggest blowout in Pistons history. Otis Thorpe helped out. Michael Curry led him with 17. 118-74, a 44-point rout. Pistons now 24-7 with 3 more games left on this 8-game homestand. Yeah, sure you can laugh, Grant. Milwaukee's here on Tuesday. You can laugh about a 44-point win, can't you? Isaiah Thomas cannot be too thrilled with losing to the Pistons like that, but the Raptors GM and former Pistons great knows he has an injured team and one that is still light years away from being a real contender. Zeke returned to the Palace for that game Saturday. His jersey hangs from the rafters, so he's a Raptor in the rafters. Isaiah was glad to see his old Piston pals at the game Saturday, and he took time to say hi to some fans last night. Thomas will always be immensely popular around these parts. He's the one that kicked off things at the Palace years back. Those 2 titles are his legacy, but now he's trying to direct Toronto and signing former Piston mates and University of Detroit stars Earl Cureton and John Long, even at their advanced ages, is a way to show the young kids that the old-timers have something to offer.
You look at Parrish, Parrish older than me, just perseverance, just playing and not giving up.
And the last time Earl Cureton played in the NBA before this stint with Toronto was, of course, the Houston Rockets, and won an NBA title with that team. John Long and Earl Cureton, I think combined ages, 80 years old between the two. One guy who has really come a long way for the Pistons, though, is Michael Curry. He's a guy who played at Georgia Southern, spent time with the Sixers and Bullets in the NBA, Omaha in the CBA, and overseas in Italy and Spain. Think Curry's not happy about being a Piston, and a Piston leader at that?
I think my natural personality is a leader, and I feel comfortable doing that.
Mike Curry's going to go down as one of the great Piston pickups in a long time. Maybe ever, should I say it? I mean, the way where he came from or whatnot? Michael Curry. I'm just really going with the Pistons, aren't I? Well, Doug's done it. Still on the way tonight, Turbo Trivia. Brand new Iowa personal stereo can be yours for the taking, but you can't win if you don't play. And for the Wolverines, that also holds true. Of course, sometimes they play and don't win, but we'll show you Michigan's rebound at Northwestern yesterday. And 10 years ago, the Russians and Canadians were kung fu fighting. You may recognize some of the names. Stick around. The Sports Zone is just heating up. Don't go anywhere.
You know, it's kind of a little disbelief, and it's unfortunate the season had to end. You know, you want to continue to play, and...
It was tough enough for Grant Hill today. Then Rick Mahorn pops in. Had to turn the sound down here. Language unsuitable for TV. Yes, when Steve Smith sank that shot for Atlanta in Game 5 yesterday, the Pistons' season sank with it.
Doug, have you gotten over, I guess, what had to be gotten over, which was a major disappointment for this team?
No, you don't ever get over those things that easily. Those things should gnaw at you for a long time, because what they do is they challenge you to be better.
A challenge that Doug handled admirably, but an empty practice floor today, guys cleaning out lockers, no Chicago trip, doors closing too soon, and those questions. Otis Thorpe, for example.
Doug, was he a reason, though, why this team is not advanced? I mean,
oh, come on, stop. You know, stop with that.
And the report that Collins has coached his last game for the Pistons?
I take great satisfaction in what has happened. So, you know, for me, it's like I do every year. I mean, I'll always take a step back and see what I want to do.
I think he'll be back. I don't think it's a big issue.
You know, it's hard for me to speculate on what he will or won't do, but I'm under the assumption that he'll be back.
So good, you're coming back.
You know, I'm going to take a rest and see where my heart leads me.
Players' parking lot at the practice facility, stone cold empty. And the next time we see this Pistons team, the cars that do occupy these spaces may be a lot different than the ones that left here at high noon today. In Auburn Hills, Mark Wilson, Fox 2 Sports. For more than a decade, this was Isaiah and Lambier's team. They ruled the roost. and at times it could be intimidating for a young player.
Oh, it definitely was. When you watch, I mean, we watched them do their thing for years, and it was their team.
You know, you look around this brand new Pistons practice facility and you say to yourself, who the heck are these guys? Where did they come from? In fact, who's this right here? Excuse me, what's your name?
How you do, Jim Smith.
Jim Smith. I don't have you on my program.
And I'm trying out this year.
I'm sorry, I don't have you here.
I don't think I've been with a club that's had as many drastic changes. No, not in 1 year.
I'm on there. Just keep looking.
Jim Smith.
Jim Smith. I'm going to be a big star.
How do you spell that?
You can't be odd at this point because you don't belong here if you're odd. You got to go out there and just say, who cares? I'm going to rip his head off.
What college?
University of England.
U of E?
Yeah, U of E.
They play some good hoop over U of E.
Great hoop. Trash talkers.
Actually, this Smith fellow looks a lot like one of only 5 returning Pistons. Mr. Dream Team, Joe Dumars.
These guys don't have to worry about coming in and dealing with the old ways, trying to fit into the old ways. There are no more old ways.
I mean, that's the way it is, ready or not, right?
You know, if we lose a couple of games here or there, you know, don't boo or nothing. Just be patient.
Billy, have you met Jim Smith yet from the University of England?
Yeah.
Jim, how are you?
Yeah,
you know, that's what Media Day is for, a little meet and greet at the new Pistons Center. Mark Wilson, TV2, Eyewitness Sports. We knew he was big. He even has his own line of clothes out west. The Ozone. T-shirts, shorts, caps, you know.
I think his line is a little bit different size than mine, but maybe he makes some sizes for small fellas.
Little petite?
Yeah.
We knew that he could play a little, justify that huge deal he signed with the Pistons, but who knew that Oliver Miller was a stand-up comic?
Bill said, where's the beef? I'm the beef. I'm the beef.
October 6th is the start of camp, and you wonder if Oliver Miller is the final piece in that Pistons puzzle that gets him back to the playoffs, but they talk so much about his weight. Let's take a look. I don't think he looks that bad. He looks pretty good. Getting svelter. Not that bad, huh? Looks okay. Oliver, you don't exactly look like the fattest guy I've ever seen.
Well, hey, I don't move like a fat guy either. But, you know, hey, I'm just going out and I'm going to get smaller just to prove to everybody that I can do what it takes.
My main focus is going to be how he plays and how he stays in shape. If he works hard, weight takes care of itself.
If he's as good as he is funny, he's a pretty good player.
I'm in 100% agreement. I wasn't aware. I saw a funny side to him, but I didn't know it was to that extent.
I don't know. Me and Scales don't get along.
The ex-Arkansas star is a funny guy, even when it comes to his favorite topic, clothes. That's what I like about you. Just, can you, like, evaluate my clothes right now? What do you think? Am I all right?
You good, man.
I look all right?
You're just good for a white guy.
Thanks, Ollie. Appreciate that. At the Palace, Mark Wilson, TV2, Eyewitness Sports. Xandar is here, Tom. You may ask Xandar any lottery question or Piston-related question you'd like. Simply pass your hand over the top twice. Ask your question prior to that.
All right. Oh, great Xandar. Will we get the first pick in the lottery?
Try it again.
Good question.
Why, thank you very much.
I don't think so.
Oh, great. Is Xandar ready?
Xandar's ready. Just pass your hand over once and then a second time.
All right. All right. Xandar, will we get the first pick in the draft?
No way.
Gee, what is this? Xandar.
Wait a second. All right.
You're screwing us.
Will we get the #1 pick in this year's draft?
Your hopes about this will come true.
Well, Billy.
Should this turn out to be a lie, there will be retribution.
Uh-oh, look out. Look out. Look out.
Get a nice look at that, Xandar, if we don't come back with the first pick.
When last we saw Billy McKinney, he was in tears. Tears of joy, because the guy he wanted, he got. Today at the Palace, McKinney was more composed as he handed his dream pick, Grant Hill, a new Pistons jersey.
You know, there's a difference between being emotional and crying, and I think, you know, maybe it's that little carrot sometimes that when things are going poorly for you, you have a little break and it keeps you going.
But Grant Hill, the Duke superstar, good student, great player, model citizen, is he for real?
I'm sure you guys will find a couple of flaws here and there, but
you know, I do have a lot of improvement, and I know I got to get better, and I'm looking to do that.
So are you too good to be true?
Nah.
Maybe his famous dad, the former Dallas Cowboys All-Pro from Yale, can answer that.
I think Grant understands that the best teams win. I think he understands that there's no I in the word team.
No I in team? Is Calvin for real? And with an attorney mother, is this entire family for real?
I've been around winners and people who understand the big picture, so I think they've been able to share some knowledge with me and help me out, and I've tried to absorb as much as I can, and hopefully I'll be able to share some of that with some of the people here in Detroit.
Goodbye, Isaiah. Hello, Grant Hill. No wonder Billy McKinney's got tears of joy. At the Palace, Mark Wilson, TV2, Eyewitness Sports.
Strange, bizarre evening, Mark.
You know, Eli, if I had a complete tear of my Achilles tendon, I'd be in a hospital in a lot of pain. Somehow Isaiah's been able to walk out of here, and he's actually, I think, having some fun with his friends tonight and family that are in town. He even said that if there is surgery to be done and he elects to go with the surgery, it could be a day, could be 2 days, could be 2 months. He's going to set his own schedule on this surgery. That's what he elects to do to cure the problem. This was supposed to be his night here at the Palace. It was his night, and at the start, it was a pretty happy beginning. The fans began lining up outside early, but Isaiah's car was already there. It didn't stop all kinds of Isaiah supporters from sharing their sentiments.
Cared about the team.
Yeah. You miss him? Miss seeing him?
Oh, yeah. It won't be the same without him, I don't think.
Isaiah is probably the best player I ever played with, most talented and charismatic player, and the fact that I could tell my kids that he was a teammate and a friend, I think goes a long way.
Now inside the Palace, it was electric. No question who those fans were waiting to see. Whose autograph you want?
Isaiah Thomas.
What do you want?
Isaiah.
Honest, I like him. I think of a leader. A leader by all definitions, by example.
And a champion. If you pull out, you can see that, right?
That's right.
That's why you have the sign. Well, Isaiah's family showed up, and his mom was very non-committal. Mrs. Thomas, is this a happy day for you?
I don't know yet.
And then Mary Thomas's son walked out to the court with Joe Dumars to the cheers, and then a thunderous introduction. Quite an ovation for Isaiah. Everybody gave it to him, even up here in the nosebleed seats, but it was not unexpected because they don't know if they'll get to do it again. After all, they just wanted to honor the man who's given them so many thrills over the last 13 years.
Just his dedication and will to win. I mean, he was so strong in what he was trying to do and accomplish it, and he was so successful at it, I think, is why people respect him.
By the way, this takes care of another thing for Isaiah. He really didn't want to play in the final 3 road games, and now he won't have to. It's funny, the Royal Hannaford Circus just came into town, Eli, and maybe it was fitting. It's been kind of a circus season for the Pistons. Circus atmosphere here tonight. It's kind of a sad ending if that is the way Isaiah Thomas goes out on this injury. We'll find out. He says he'll make his decision in the upcoming weeks or months, or it could be days. Reporting live at the Palace, Mark Wilson, TV2 Eyewitness News. Eli.
Thanks, Mark.
Mark Aguirre returns to the Pistons tonight after missing 5 games. With the team red hot, getting playing time won't be easy.
I don't think I have a problem blending, but it's going to take a process of just getting back to the flow that they have. See, it was a different flow when I was playing, so I have to, really get back into the flow that they have.
Quite a change from 3 weeks ago when the Palace resembled a funeral home. Polony scraping about his role, the Isaiah Magic thing, and of course, Rodman. Now tonight, they can hit 500 after 20 games.
Oh, I'm amazed. We didn't know if we'd get here at all, much less this quick. So, yeah, I'd lie to you if I said, oh, we knew that. We're actually ahead of where we were a year ago, so, and I can't believe that either.
So what did it? What caused the turnaround for the Pistons? Was it Rodman? Was it an attitude change? Was it Christmas? Hey, Ron Rothstein says maybe it was a combination of everything.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of a lot of things. The main thing is having your main people back. If you look around the league and see what happens to teams when their best players don't play, by and large, those teams struggle. There's nothing like winning. You win a few, and it's good for everybody's mental health.
The attitudes were there, and everybody was working hard at it. And then the wins came behind and really makes it a great situation.
In Auburn Hills, Mark Wilson, TV2 Eyewitness Sports.